Hey, good morning, everybody. Kind of a little bit of a crisp morning out there. I've got 33 degrees here in Clinton, Missouri on this great, fabulous St. Patrick's Day. So hopefully everybody has some great plans today to go celebrate, eat some corned beef and buttered potatoes. I know I do. So looking forward to that this afternoon. So wow, what a week we had last week, guys. That was pretty eventful to say the least. So of course you saw some of my earlier posts. All of the severe weather throughout the Midwest as well as the Ohio Valley, including Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. Man, what a week of weather. We were expecting that, but maybe not to that extent. We haven't even hit severe weather season yet. So that typically starts around April 1st through the end of May, and we're kind of, I think, myself as well as many other forecasters, meteorologists, we were all kind of in the same boat as far as just kind of getting ready for those big active 2 months, and really wasn't ready for a outbreak of severe storms like what we had last week. And we actually have another week that's going to be similar to that coming up here at the end of the month, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But wanted to kind of go over our go over what's going on down on the surface. Talk about our forecast. I've kind of put our week forecast up there already, but I thought I would go ahead and kind of explain that a little bit more in detail and tell you guys what we've got coming up. So of course you guys know this is one of the very first models that I ever look at on a daily basis, and that's our 500 millibar chart. Now this is 18,000 feet above our heads. We kind of take a look at the jet streams. It's able to tell us where the low pressure systems are, which is our storm systems, where the high pressure systems are, and what tracks that the models are showing that they are likely to follow for the next couple days, week, 2 weeks, so on and so forth. So, of course, we start off with today, and if we move this forward just a little bit, we have this kind of an isolated low pressure system right down here. It is right here, if you see it, right here where my L is. So we have, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have about 6 hours until we begin to really start to feel those northwest winds come ushering down into the Midwest. But as I put this in motion, you start seeing how those winds start shifting out of the northwest and the north, coming right down on top of us. So for the next 48 hours or so, we are actually going to be dropping in temperatures. We will have a very hard freeze tonight, as well as Monday night. So if you have any sensitive vegetation outside, flowers, you definitely want to make sure that you get them protected tonight and tomorrow night, because we'll have temperatures back into the low 20s, so we will have a very hard freeze. Now we'll start to kind of rebound a little bit as we go through the middle of the week. We'll get up underneath this little ridge, and remember what we talk about ridges. All right, so if we get underneath those ridges, that's typically where we start to see more of a westerly or southwesterly winds. We begin to heat up underneath a little bit of a high pressure system. So, and that's going into that will be going into Friday and the weekend. Now things really start getting interesting once we start getting into the 25th time period. Once we start getting into the 25th time period, we start a very active stretch that will take us into April. And a series of upper level lows will be passing through. We'll take a look at the temperature chart here in just a minute, but we'll have a very strong cold front move through at the end of the month, and you'll be able to see that here in just a moment. But we get into the 25th, and you will start to see that low pressure system begin to develop out to our west, right here at the L. That's our low pressure system. We'll have that jet stream coming right up through all of Oklahoma, right through the heart of Missouri into Illinois. We'll have very strong winds. We'll be pumping us full of moisture, not deep moisture, because it'll be coming from the southwest. It'll be more of a Pacific flow, but we will begin to see those winds really begin to howl as we go into Monday into Tuesday, which would be the 25th and 26th. And then it really begins to ramp up as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday, and that low pressure system comes by. Now we have yet another chance for precipitation as that low begins to skirt by at the very end of the month. And notice our winds. They're going to be coming out of the northwest. So when we hit this point right here, we got southwest winds bringing us ample temperature, moisture, and then just in a couple hour time frame, watch those winds switch over coming straight out of the northwest. And obviously a very, very cold low pressure system, cold front will be moving across. And of course with that, this time of year typically means severe weather. So that is our next big chance to see some severe storms, a big change in the weather pattern. So, and again, that those with aches, pains, arthritis, migraines, all that's going to be coming into play here as we go into the end of the month. So let's make sure that everybody is taking proactive steps for that toward the end of the month. And then of course as we jump right into the 1st of April, take a look at that big old low pressure system coming in off the southwest again. And it's going to also bring us more chances of severe weather and precipitation here in the Midwest. So, wow, very, very active. 7 to 10 days is what we're going to be looking at as we go into April. So let's take a look at what's going to be kind of happening down on the surface as far as precipitation goes. So as we, and again, here's our timestamps right here, guys. So in case you're not 100% sure how you know what day it is, what this model's for, is right where I got it circled right there. Okay, March 17th, 4 a.m. And then you can watch that. That is the timestamp on this. So as we go forward into, now we're into Monday, we'll have beautiful weather coming back from Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. And then as we go into Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, you notice there's some showers and thunderstorms begin to form down here in southwest Missouri. And it will spread up into west central Missouri. We will have a slight chance, I do believe, to see some scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms. Some may be severe. This time of year, just a little kink in the atmosphere can produce some severe weather. So I will be watching that for the potential of seeing a scattered severe storm or two as we go into Thursday afternoon around 4 o'clock. And then that will move out. And then we'll have, as we're going into that wild week to 10 days on the 25th, we'll have a couple chances of some rain and showers as we go into the 25th. And then you can already start to see this building up right now. So starting Sunday on the 24th around 4 o'clock or so, that will be the starting time of this next couple storm systems. So showers, thunderstorms, possibility of severe weather. And then we'll have yet another system come in that could provide a line of potential severe storms on Monday night. And then more showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday. And more severe storms down here in Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, down into the Boot Hill. And then as we go, now we're ushering in, remember this is the time we're ushering in some of those colder temperatures. And then we set ourselves up for round number 3 coming in right around the end of this model. But you can start to see that next storm system, that last low pressure system, as it begins to eject out, providing a focus for thunderstorms and a possibility of severe weather. So wow, very, very active week. I'm making sure I'm getting at least 10 hours of sleep every night before we head into that week. So lots of stuff going on here at the end of the month. So wanted to kind of give you guys kind of a heads up on that. As far as temperatures goes, what this is an anomaly. So this kind of tells you where day-to-day swings in weather. You can definitely be able to tell as far as temperature goes. So you can definitely tell when a cold front comes through, when a warm front comes through. You can see those changes from day to day as far as temperature changes. And if you watch this date, you can really tell. Now we're under the influence of that cold Canadian high right now. So, you know, the next 48 hours, we are actually going to be really chilly. We're only going to get up to about 50 degrees today. So it's not going to warm up much today as what we have seen over the last 10 days or so. But we'll see that really dip down into the Missouri over the next 48 hours. And that deep Canadian air mass is going to be centered right over Missouri as we go into the overnight tonight and into Monday and Monday night. And then we begin to see that rebound. We get up underneath that high pressure system. We'll be back into the 60s, 70s. And then obviously, as you can see, it's just kind of all the cold air just cocking back right back up here in the north. And as we head into about the 26th, you'll see that begin to take a nosedive here into the Midwest, and that will be our focus right here, right around the 25th, 24th, 25th, 26th. This dividing line between the warm air mass and the cold air mass is going to be the focus for very likely going to be a severe storm outbreak. Now, it might push just a little bit to our south, maybe down into southwest Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas. but we will likely have a very significant storm system come through the Midwest as we get into that last week of the month. So it's definitely something that has caught my attention that I'm keeping a very, very close eye on here over the next couple weeks as we go forward. And then as we head into the end of the month, we are deeply entrenched into that cold air mass. Look at the temperatures all the way down past Corpus Christi in Texas in that cool to cold air mass. So this thing it is a powerhouse of a system that will be going through. We will likely have yet another day or two that we'll see freezing temperatures, maybe a hard freeze. And then we will begin to rebound as we go into April. And I think I mentioned this before, according to the LRC, though that time when we got those record-breaking cold temperatures in January, when Miami and Kansas City played football, when we had wind chills of 30 below zero. Now that same storm system is slated to come back through around the 20th through the 24th of April. And that is where I am kind of picking up to see yet another very, very strong storm system with the possibility of a severe storm outbreak, as well as freezing temperatures, likely going to be our last freeze for the season before we head into spring. So we'll have just a little bit of a late freeze, but in between times, we're going to have beautiful weather as well. So not quite ideal for the gardeners out there, because or farmers for that matter. They go out and plant corn and get the corn up about 3 inches and get a hard freeze. That's not good for the farmers or the gardeners out there. But we have to kind of plan for that for right now. If things change as we get closer, definitely be updating that. So everybody was really quiet this morning on chat. So haven't had anybody chime in yet this morning on chat. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot out there to me. I did post this already. This is what's up in our Facebook room, and still holding true. I'm not making any kind of changes right now with the going forecast. Of course, we're on Sunday right now. We might get up to around 56 degrees. That's going to be kind of a struggle, I think, today. But we're going to go for an overnight low of 23 degrees tonight. So very, very hard freeze. 47 tomorrow. We're not going to warm up much with another freeze on Monday night. And then Tuesday, we shoot back up in temperatures into the 70s again. It will be windy out ahead of this next storm system that will be coming through on Wednesday. So one thing to kind of keep in mind with these very, very low humidities that we have in store for today and tomorrow and Tuesday, remember that fire weather is definitely upon us. So please kind of hold back any outside burning for the next couple of days. We don't want to go through what we did this last go around. There was several brush fires out in Henry County and Johnson County, so please be mindful of that. So right now we're not under a red flag warning right now for anywhere here in West Central Missouri, but I would not be surprised to see that come up for Tuesday with the advent of the strong winds that we are expected on Tuesday. When Wednesday comes around, that's when the next system comes through. We do have a slight chance to see some severe weather here in West Central Missouri. It's not going to be anything like what we went through here last week, but there will be potential to see some severe weather in and around West Central Missouri, so we'll be watching for that. And of course, the long range, that March 24th through March 29th, and actually all the way into the first couple 3 days of April right now, is looking like a very, very active period with several severe storm possibilities through that time frame. And then again, as we go into that part of the LRC cycle that brought that big winter storm back the second week of January, is going to be cycling back through April 19th through the 23rd. So we'll be watching for that. You can put that on your calendar. We will likely see our last freeze of the season at that time. Do you think this morning would be a good morning to go mushroom hunting? Well, I tell you what, if you go mushroom hunting this morning, you better get out there. You better get out there pretty quick, because come tomorrow morning, 22 degrees, those things are going to be shriveled up, looking like a raisin out there sticking out of the ground. Hi, MH. You must have came in maybe just a little bit late. I talked about that here a while back, and I just kind of reiterated just now that. Give me a drink of coffee. That actually through that March 24th through the 29th, we have a potential to get close to freeze mark as that last storm system comes through at the end of the month. And then again, April 19th through the 23rd, I do believe we're not going to get down to 30 below zero like we did in January. Don't think that, because the LRC is very accurate, but it is seasonal. So we're not going to get down to 30 below zero when we have the sun angle being the way it is right now, daylight savings, and but that is we are seeing a likelihood of seeing a very strong cold front at the tail end of that storm system in April that will likely see below freezing temperatures and will likely be the last freeze of the year. It will be a late last freeze based on average, but we're going to have beautiful weather in between times. So not really the best combination for the gardeners and farmers out there. So, but it's something we definitely want to keep in mind as we go into the growing season on that. So take a look here. Hey, Zachary, you're the one that they're making go mushroom hunting. So also, you know, of course, we're right here at St. Patty's Day. So I do like this holiday, the holiday of the four-leaf clover, and you know, one thing that, you know, everybody goes out and they celebrate, but you know what's kind of cool about this, and you know, this was almost 2,000 years ago, and there was a guide, and of course his name was Patrick, and he was brought to Ireland as a slave and held captive for 6 years. Now, he eventually got out of there. He escaped, and he returned several years later to bring Christianity to the nation before he passed away on March 17th. And that's one of the reasons why we celebrate St. Patrick's Day today. But you know, it wasn't until, I don't know, a couple hundred years later, almost 1,000 years later, where the immigrants from Ireland began to arrive in the United States. And then that's when we started all these festivities, you know, with the green clothing, the parades, the shamrocks. Shamrocks are known as the three-leaf clovers, of course, and then the four-leaf clovers. Now, you know, they're not the same thing. And so, the shamrock is 3 leaves, which, you know, the 4-leaf clover is very, very rare to find. And I looked this up earlier in the week, and there's approximately 10,000 three-leaf clovers for every four-leaf clover. So, of course, the three-leaf clovers, the shamrocks, are much more common. But the four-leaf clovers aren't just considered lucky because they are so rare. Okay? And so there was a saying. I'm going to pull this up here because I kind of forgot what that saying. They believed that the Celtic priests believed that they could detect evil spirits when carrying a three-leaf clover, while four-leaf clovers were Celtic charms thought to provide magical protection and ward off bad luck. So that quote was followed by, in 1620, Sir John Milton became the first literary reference to clovers bring good luck when he wrote, "If a man walking in the field find any four-leaved grass, he shall in a small while after find some good thing." So from then, it kind of stuck. So kind of a neat thing, the four-leaf clovers, they're the standard. I learned this back years ago. The leaves of a four-leaf clover said to stand for faith, hope, love, and luck. So the FHLL, that's how I always remember that. So faith, hope, love, and luck. Okay, so anyway, that's what I hope for you guys on this St. Patrick's Day. I hope all of you guys find a four-leaf clover out there and have tons of faith, hope, love, and luck on this St. Patrick's Day. So I hope everybody's able to get out and enjoy it. Spend time with family today. Have some corned beef, buttered potatoes, and we will be talking to you all very soon. Have a great St. Patrick's Day, guys.